You think a movie theater makes money selling you a ticket. It mostly doesn't. On a big opening weekend, most of what you pay for that ticket gets wired straight to the studio that made the film. The theater can keep almost nothing on the seat, so how does it survive? With the thing in your hands on the way in. The popcorn and the soda. The screen is the bait, the snack counter is the business. Here's how it really works. It looks like the simplest business in the world. You buy a ticket. You sit in the dark. You watch a movie. The theater rents you a seat for 2 hours and keeps the money. The big number on the marquee. The box office, the millions a film makes on opening weekend. Sure looks like the theater's money, and box office admissions really are the headline line on an exhibitor's books. So the story seems obvious: sell more tickets, make more money. But here's the catch hiding behind the marquee. The theater doesn't get to keep that box office. It has to share it, and not evenly. For every blockbuster, there's a contract with the studio, and that contract takes a big cut of every ticket right off the top. And the split isn't fixed. It's negotiated film by film, and it usually slides over the weeks a movie plays. The studio takes the most in the opening days, when the crowds are biggest, and the theater's share grows the longer the film stays on the screen. So the more people who buy a ticket to the new superhero film on its opening Friday, the more money flows out of the theater and into the studio's account. The theater's best week at the box office can be its worst week per ticket. Which raises a strange question. If the theater barely keeps the ticket, especially on the biggest films, then what exactly is it selling you? Here's the flip. The theater isn't really selling movies. It's selling popcorn. And the movie is how it gets you to the popcorn. Start with where the ticket money goes. Studios commonly take around half of a film's box office gross over its run, and a larger share, often cited around 60% or more, in the all-important opening weekend when the crowds are biggest. So on the very films that pack the theater keeps the least per ticket. The admission is close to a pass through to Hollywood. Now look at the snack counter, because this is where the business actually lives. Concessions are almost pure profit. The exhibitors say so in their own filings. Food and beverage gross margins run extraordinarily high, commonly in the high 70s to mid-80s%. A large tub of popcorn costs the theater very little, Colonel's oil, a paper bucket, and sells for many times that. Popcorn is one of the cheapest foods on earth to produce, and one of the most profitable to sell. The soda is sugar, water, and a cup poured from a machine, at a markup that would be the envy of almost any restaurant. And crucially, the popcorn doesn't have to be shared with anyone. The studio takes its cut of the ticket. It takes nothing from the popcorn. Every dollar at the candy counter stays in the building. So you can have 2 films in the same multiplex on the same night, both packed, and the one where people bought more snacks is the one that actually made the theater money. The seat is shared revenue. The tub is theirs alone. So the theater's real profit per visit doesn't come from the seat. It comes from the tub in your lap. Now watch how the whole place is built around this split. The theater can't control the studio's cut. That's set in a contract, and the studio holds the power because it owns the film everyone wants to see. So the theater leans on the one revenue line it owns outright: the concession stand. That's why the lobby is designed the way it is. You don't walk straight to your seat. You're funneled past a glowing wall of snacks, the smell of popcorn pumped into the air, the menu lit up above the register. It's why theaters keep adding higher margin options, bigger sizes candy, nachos, hot food, and increasingly beer and cocktails, because per-person concession spending is the number they can actually grow. And it explains the strategy that looks backwards at first. Theaters want to fill seats almost regardless of ticket profit. Discount Tuesdays, loyalty programs, all-you-can-watch subscription passes that let you see films for a flat monthly fee. These look like giving the product away. But they make perfect sense once you realize the ticket is mostly the cost of getting a hungry person into the building. A subscriber who comes twice a month is 2 more trips past the popcorn wall. Get the body in the seat and the concession stand does the rest. It's also why the seats keep getting plusher and the auditoriums add full kitchens and bar service. Recliners and a cocktail menu turn a movie into an evening out, and an evening out spends more at the counter. The film is the reason you came. The concession stand is the reason the theater can pay its rent, so stack it up. The ticket largely pays the studio, most of all on the blockbusters that fill the room. The popcorn, the soda, and the candy stay with the theater, at margins most businesses can only dream of. A movie theater isn't really in the film business. It's a snack bar that screens movies to fill its seats. Once you see this, you see the pattern across the whole economy. The headline product can be a near pass through to someone more powerful, while the real profit hides in the cheap, high-margin extra sold alongside it. Next time, we'll board a ship where the fare barely covers the trip, and the money is in everything you do once you're trapped on board. Where the money really comes from is never where they point you.